They about to look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topic? Crew looking like pentatonics, locked in, recording in tropics. And the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, we lit, never thought about it. Cause they about to look at the shit that I'm on, why don't we get in topics? In a way back, all black, I'm talking, feeling like Shaq, I weigh my options. And the East Big 3, Big Bronzy B, way good, he working on optics. Thought biz while smoking exotics, it's saucy all the projects, it's saucy.
Yo, what is good? What is good? RCR Presents MSD Sports. And you got me, YBK. My name is Sam. We got Mikey, and we got Camden, and we in episode 12, everybody. Welcome. Mikey, introduce yourself. Mikey, introduce yourself.
What's good, beautiful people? It's your boy Michael John, MJ in the building, coming to you from the 02135. We back at it with episode number 12. A cool dozen for the people.
Yes, sir. Cool dozen is right. Camden, what's up?
What's poppin'? You know what it is. It's your boy, Mr. Club Paradise, a.k.a. Camden Lee. We're back with another one. Episode 12. Can you believe it? Time has flown. I'm just so happy to be with the greatest trio ever assembled. I can't believe it. We got a lot to talk about. But to start it off, GM Sam.
Yes, sir.
What's poppin', baby? What's poppin', baby? What's going on?
We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the MLB free agency, MLB Hall of Fame, NBA news and updates, the NFL divisional games, and the conference final predictions. And we got a lot to talk about, everybody. But before we go to MLB, I just want to shout out my coworker, Ricky. He gave me this Babe Ruth plate right here, everybody. Isn't that beautiful? For our viewers that are watching, thank you, Ricky. But yes, let's lead on to the MLB. Ricky. So yes, let GM Sam got a lot of news and updates. The Los Angeles Dodgers, everybody, they did it. They signed Roki Sasaki. To the minor league deal that we talked about last episode. And I saw the signing bonus to be $6.5 million, but we don't know the details yet about the actual contract. But man, guys, now they did it. The Infinity Stones have been assembled for the Dodgers, even more than last year.
Oh my goodness.
And then the next day, they signed Tanner Scott in a 4-year, $72 million contract, including a $20 million signing bonus. And he has a $21 million deferment with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we keep on talking about the deferment, everybody.
Another one. Another player, another contract, another Dodgers piece loaded up. I just can't believe this. I don't know what it is. And I know, Mikey, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. You know, I don't understand why other teams have not done this earlier. This is crazy to me. The Dodgers are loading up for the next, I don't know, half dozen years to try to win some chips. It's unbelievable. I think we're talking about Roki last episode or 2 episodes ago, because I know we talked a little about NBA last time. But talking about Roki, I mean, we kind of knew. I said if I want to be like where I'm going to be wanted and where I feel like I'm going to be loved the best starting my career, I need to be with my boys. I need to be, I want to win. And so, you know, I mean, the fact of him taking this deal and you know, $6.5 million, that's a drop in the bucket for the Dodgers. An amazing signing. Scott Tanner, $72 million, 21 million deferred. Oh my goodness, guys. Mikey, do you have any thoughts? I'm just confused. Why can't we do this? Why the Sox, if you're listening, why aren't we doing this? Because this is amazing.
They could do it. I think there's two things to look at importantly here. We keep talking about deferred money. It's like, I can't fault, don't hate the player, you got to hate the game, or can't blame. This is the system that's been designed. If you're a team and you have the financial means to do deferred payments, then you're allowed to do it. We talked about Bobby Bonilla back on like episode 1 of the pod, or episode 2. And that is looked at as like a huge mistake of like what not to do.
Yeah.
That's where you point at like what not to do. But the Dodgers have done it and have assembled a super team. The MLB players have to be willing to take a deferred payment as well, because a lot of players want the money up front. if you're asking me for a contract here, you can have 50 million, but 40 million is deferred, and a different team says I'm gonna give you 30 million all right now. At least I know the way the money's invested, and I know the way the money will be handled. So I think that those are two big thoughts about that go into it. Unfortunately, the smaller the market, the more difficult it is to do it. So that's why people think it's unfair because a team like the Dodgers or the Red Sox could do this, but maybe a smaller market team can't do this. GM Sam, what are your thoughts? You're the baseball expert in house.
I'm just right now, I'm in the position of like, this is great for the game of baseball. There's no salary cap. There is luxury tax. But like what you said, Mikey, I totally agree. A team like the Dodgers that can afford that in the long run, continuing to sign players with deferment. Look at Shohei Ohtani. He said, I will, on paper, my contract is 10 years, $700 million. I'm getting $70 million annually. But just give me 2 for now. Build the team. And look at the Dodgers. I mean, they won the World Series this year. Well, last year now. And they continue to sign. They got Michael Conforto. They got Blake Snell. I mean, look at their rotation right now, projected. I mean, you add Roki on there. You got Blake Snell, the newly acquired Dodger. Yamamoto, who was lights out when he was healthy. Tyler Glasnow, strikeout machine. And you have Shohei coming back from that Tommy John, pitching now. And I feel like I can even like, for me, if I like just think of the Dodgers, I just like know their whole lineup because of how strong every position now they have. It's like to that level of jealousy for me. Because like what you said, Mikey, there's teams that could actually do this. This is a big wake-up call for the MLB, to the owners that can actually afford to. They're billionaires, guys. These MLB owners are billionaires. And I feel like this billionaire, who the Dodgers owner is, or the ownership, they seem to care about winning, and they seem to continue that culture. So this is great for the Dodgers, I feel like, and great for the game, but teams should hurry up and catch on.
I mean, yeah, I think you hit it right on the head, GM Sam. I think when we thought about deferred money years ago, and even Mike, you was talking about this, we thought it was as a faux pas, kind of saying, okay, like you're broke, or you know what I mean, you're not able to pay your players, so you're trying to create this, situation in the system where now it's looked at as an asset, and I think that really just shows the element of the game and where we've been transcending, just to a new place, and the crazy thing is that the MLB has been dying, the last half decade, and for these owners to be able to reinvest in their teams, really kind of create a huge market of, okay, we have this East versus West, or even just the Dodgers themselves. I think it at least brings more awareness to teams and brings awareness to the game, so that if the Dodgers do come into your city, the GDP is going to go crazy for that day. So, you know what I mean? You might be able to make some money. So, shout out to the Dodgers and shout out to those owners who are really trying to put these players around amazing players for a long-lasting dynasty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there's one more free agent I want to talk about that just got signed yesterday. Outfielder, former Baltimore Oriole, Anthony Santander, signed a 5-year, $92 million contract with the Toronto Blue Jays, including a $35 million of salary is deferred. This is a AL East team. He just joined the neighbor team, not neighbor, but like a very familiar team coming from the Orioles. He hit 42 bombs last year, guys, and I mean the Blue Jays lost the sweepstakes on Sasaki, and I feel like they're trying to get stars here, but I don't know. This signing just feels like a desperate sign for the Blue Jays. This is like, we need a star, but yeah, how do you guys feel?
I'm going to tell you what I think. I think it means that Vladdy, like they took the threat of Vladdy saying he might walk and said like, okay, we'll load up with another power hitter, because he only batted 235 last year, Santander. So over 100 ribbies. If you have over 40 home runs, over 100 ribbies, that's good, right? It's good batting, but 140 hits. So you really relying on him to hit rip dingers for you. But hey, I mean, you gotta get someone. You can't stay stagnant.
Right.
Especially if Vladdy leaves. I think that's the one thing that, you talking about that for sure is huge. You know what I mean? The Blue Jays have always been known for big time hitters. There's always been a nice hitter to come into that ballpark, hit a nice little home run in that dome ski, just to bring the crowd in and make everybody feel like, oh wow, I get this nice little Japanese feel, or or Asian feel, it's really nice. But I think for me, I don't see what's the point in spending money on a big time hitter if he's not efficient. I think $92 million is a lot of money to give a guy almost $100 million for a guy. Yeah, he hit 40 home runs last year and 100 ribbies, but when you have a loaded up conference, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Hitters are not going to, pitching is going to be even better this year than it was last year. So those numbers are definitely going to go down. So it's not like you're paying a guy for what he's going to be doing. You're paying a guy for what he did. And to me, that just that percentage just doesn't seem right to me. But Toronto, you guys need somebody. You need somebody to fill them seats. I'll let you have somebody. And in case of Vladdy leaves, it's gonna be rough. Yeah. So pray that boy resigns. Pray.
Yep. Talk about MLB division. You guys want to talk about your sacks a little bit?
Yeah. Well, after all these, the marbles are rolling in, right, and the dominoes are falling. We still got a big name. There's some rumors that, fan favorite in Houston, Alex Bregman, might be making his way over to the City of Champions, the City of Notions. And I think it actually could be a good fit because from what I'm reading is that Bregman might be willing to move into second base so that we can keep the infield intact, keep Devers over at third. Devers is nasty, actually, at third, not to mention a power hitter. So it would be nice to bring someone like Bregman who might be able to bolster a little like 25, 30 home run year, but still hit closer to 280. Because I feel like what we're saying about Santander, it's like Pete Alonso is similar to Santander. Big hitter, home runs, but maybe not efficient. So if you really lack the ribbies, maybe you go for one of those hitters. But I actually don't think that Bregman will be a bad signing. And we got the money. There's not many teams that are worth more than us. I think there's two, the Dodgers and the Yankees. I can't really tell you off the top of my head if anyone else is more expensive than us. But, David, what you think? The Red Sox need to make some moves, huh? With Blue Jays now making a splash signing, Red Sox need to come through.
Yeah, David Hamilton played a lot of the second base last season. Him playing under, 80 games is ridiculous, and I think having someone like Bregman to kind of add into that lineup really could bring some stability. And I'm not necessarily sure how the lineup's going to look, just with Story and Devers and Duran, I'm not exactly sure where he's going to fit. But in terms of just having a consistent second base player, or just a player on that infield that can really solidify just everything else, I think it's really going to help not only the Red Sox be better hitters, but also better clutch hitters. Because you got a guy who, number one, can play great defense, but could also get on base. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we lacked last year. But yeah, Bregman's a great signing. Bregman would be a great signing. I'm a little concerned of how much money we want to give him. That's a huge question. I don't want to expose us too much now. We did do some great offseason moves with Chapman and things like that, but I still think we still have a couple more pieces that we can add. I don't want to overpay him and then, kind of not have that wiggle room. So, the GM Sam, what AV would you kind of give this guy, if you're looking about adding Bregman to your squad?
Like what Mikey said, Red Sox have the money, and I feel like AAV-wise, you have to give as much as Alex wants. He is a World Series champion, big veteran, and I'm a guy. If you want it, I'll give you all the respect. But of course, you're under asterisks. But Red Sox, if you guys do sign Bregman, Red Sox made a couple like it's not like a superstar moves they made this offseason. They had multiple like mini moves they made to kind of bolster their rotation, their bullpen. And if they add Bregman to the mix here, and you're saying he's gonna play second now, so you're saying you have Casas You have Bregman at second. You have what's his name, Trevor Story at short, and you have Devers in third. Now the story about this infield here is, y'all signed Trevor Story in a multi-million-dollar contract to be the guy, but he's been injured for a long time and this whole time. And I feel like on paper, if you guys sign Bregman, you guys look scary. And I feel like that Red Sox-Yankee rivalry will spark back because you guys signed Garrett Crochet. Well, not traded for him. Traded from the White Sox, Garrett Crochet. You signed Walker Buehler. You signed, who's that lefty? Patrick Sandoval. And you add Tanner Houck and Bello to the mix. You guys have a decent rotation. And with the Chapman addition to your bullpen, Red Sox look scary if Bregman. I feel like Bregman and like one more piece, like what you said, David, multiple, like one more piece after Bregman will be that puzzle piece that you guys can make some damage in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit it on the head. We get Bregman, it's over. And not to say it's over, but it's definitely going to be something where we're going to be able to compete. And I'm hoping the Red Sox do what the Dodgers do and do a little deferred money because that would be great just to shore up our future a little bit. I think with the situation with Trevor Story, we paid him a ton of money, and we're not getting a lot of return on investment currently. So I'm hoping that he gets healthy this year, but I think the Red Sox could do something. I think we'll be.
Should have paid some of that money to Mookie to stay with us.
I mean, we coulda.
Shut up. Should have paid some of that money to Mookie, but you live and you learn. Sam, big day today in the MLB, huh?
Yep. It was a very exciting day in the MLB today. We got the MLB Hall of Fame inductees of the 2025 season, everybody. We got 3 athletes, 3 greats, everybody. And one of them made history. I'm going to start it off with Ichiro Suzuki. In his first year of the ballot, 99.7% made it to the Hall of Fame, and he would be the first Asian Japanese man to make it to the MLB Hall of Fame, everybody.
Shout out to
Congratulations.
Suzuki, my guy. Shout out to him.
Congratulations. This man went nutty in the MLB, guys. Ichiro, I remember when he first came, his first year, everybody, he won MVP and Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. Like I'm this guy's coming from Japan. I think he played like 13 years there, and he came over, and he still destroyed the MLB.
So nasty. I'm gonna say something, and for my viewers and listeners, please don't kill me. But when I was young, I was a young whippersnapper, still wet behind the ears. I saw Ichiro Suzuki, play baseball on TV, and I didn't even know Asians could play baseball ever in the history of my life. I never saw one play baseball on national television. It was unbelievable. And then on top of that, he was nasty. The man was hitting. He was on the outfield. This man was catching. He was an icon, and I just felt like he was one of the first celebrity Major League Baseball players that I fell in love with. At a young age, I just felt like just the way that he was attached to the game, the way he gave his heart to the game, the way he played. I think not only is this a first year ballot or almost 100% of the ballot, first year ballot getting in based off of play, but I think also based on like what you gave to the game. And the experiences that you really gave to the fans, and being someone that's been a baseball fan my entire life, I'm very grateful for having those memories. So shout out to him.
Yeah, y'all remember how his batting stance? He'll run to the base in his batting stance. He's batting batting from the left side so that he can just like swing into his run. When I was a kid, I tried to emulate that, but I'm a righty, so it did not work.
Well,
big respect. One thing to never forget about Ichiro Suzuki is that he hit 3,000 hits in the MLB, but also had nearly 1,300 hits in Japan. Yep. So his career hits is 4,367. So had he started from the age of 18 in the MLB, who knows if it could have been up there for 4,000 hits in the MLB. One of the best to do it. The guy who didn't vote for him or woman who didn't vote for him was trolling. He should have been 100%, without a doubt.
Haters. This man hit over 200 hits, multiple, like not even multiple, like 10 10 times. He had 262 hits and a 372 batting average in 1 year, guys.
Nasty, dude.
That's crazy.
I remember playing with him back in the day in MLB. He was just unbelievable.
Oh yeah. I remember when he hit a curveball he hit a breaking ball that hit the dirt. So it hit the dirt and he hit it and he got a single. And this man's crazy. This man, shout out.
Good fielder and a great base runner as well.
Definitely.
So all around game and great attitude. I know you're happy about this next one though, Sam.
Yes,
I know you're
sir.
happy about this one. He would have had your vote too.
Yes, sir.
He would have had my vote as well, Mr. CC Sabathia.
Woo!
I
Let's
love
go!
lefty pitchers, bro. Lefty pitchers is it. I just like a lefty pitcher, bro. Ain't nothing wrong. And he pitched for a long time, man. I like the players that don't look. MLB has a lot of players that aren't the athletic specimen. And I like CC Sabathia because he reminded me of like my pops or like my friend's pops pitching to us. Like, he got out there. He went into the postseason many times too. He went to the postseason many times and did his thing. So if you have 250 career wins, that by itself might get you in.
Yeah, I mean, CC was nasty. He looked like a huge polar bear on that pitcher's mound, and he invoked terror, just in terms of his size and velocity that he would throw the ball. I remember seeing him in person when I went to Fenway, and he was the largest man that I've ever seen play baseball. I didn't think large men like that could play baseball. I thought they played football. That's just what I thought we did. But yeah, I mean, looking at some of these other guys on this list, I mean, we got a couple other stars. You know what I mean? I got a couple other stars.
Wait. Before we move on, I just wanna give my shout out to Mr. Karsten Charles Sabathia. I give a big thank you for winning us that 2009 World Series champion. Thank you so much for your service playing for the New York Yankees half your career. Thank you so much. Okay, we're good. I love CC. I love CC.
I know that's your man.
I love CC.
I mean, running through this list, who else we got? Who else?
We only have one other player that made the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of names that were big names, but Billy Wagner, I think that's what happens when you get to your 10th year. The voters soften up because Billy Wagner is a great closer. Maybe not the type like Mariano Rivera or Trevor Hoffman. Is that his name?
Yeah, Trevor Hoffman. Yep.
The all-time, maybe not quite there, but definitely did deserve one of the best relief pitchers of our era, and definitely did deserve that spot. And he made it on the last year. I feel like that's, it's respect, because you don't want to leave it to an era committee to decide whether you get to go in. Don't leave it to the committee. So
no.
But there are a lot of names. Is there anyone that sticks out to y'all that y'all are intrigued with or have some thoughts about that didn't make the Hall of Fame this year?
I mean, there's some huge names. One guy that I love and near and dear to my heart, Manny Ramirez. He only got 135 votes, only 34%. He's on his 9th year. Is he gonna make it in this next year coming up? That's really something for me that I'm like, oh gosh, does he deserve it? He won a chip. He definitely changed the culture in Boston. I mean, it's just the numbers, and I think just his attitude, people are gonna have a little bit of issues with. And then,
what about the steroids? Because I think we shouldn't fail to state it for performance-enhancing drugs. I know it could for some of them, like for example, in Manny Ramirez's case, it's like toward the end of the career, like whereas like Alex Rodriguez was in more of like the peak of the career.
Yeah.
How does that play into it for you guys? Because for me, Manny Ramirez is a Hall of Famer. Maybe it's because I was a Red Sox fan growing up and I watched the clutch plays, the bat flipping, the hands in the air when the ball soars over the monster and we break the curse. 555 career home runs. It should put you in, but it's just the steroids, right? The performance enhancing drugs. You think that's what it is? Like even with someone like Alex Rodriguez too. To me, I feel like is a bona fide Hall of Famer.
I feel like that's exactly what it is. Because once you give a person who took steroids a Hall of Fame, you have to give Barry Bonds, get that record back to the MLB #1 home run leader, because I feel like that's what's blocking it. The PEDs, like what you said, A-Rod's definitely a Hall of Famer. Like, look, you open his baseball reference, yeah, so many bolded, when he led the league and everything in this, like, if it weren't for the PEDs, definitely Manny Ramirez, A-Rod, like all of them. Bring all the PED people, bring them to Hall of Fame, because all their numbers, if you open their baseball reference pages, are all legendary.
Yeah. I mean, guys, listeners, fans, everybody, they all do it. This is not a situation of, maybe Ichiro didn't do it, maybe a couple of these guys maybe didn't do it, some of the purists in the game, but to be honest, everybody's doing something. Everybody's trying to cheat. Every pitcher has a little tar on their thing. Every guy's trying to do maybe a little muscle relaxer or something. To me, if you can hit the ball when it's coming at you at 90 plus miles an hour and it gets over a fence, that has nothing to do with PEDs. That has to do with the fact that you are talented at your ability. Now, the recovery, maybe the longevity part, things like that, I'm not a scientist. I'm not 100% sure. However, you still got to do it. It's not like, when we're looking at the Astros who with tipping pitches and they're using, all these different things in order for them to win. It's not like, in other sports where people are, taking footage of plays or, stealing playbooks or other things. You still got to swing that bat. You still got to play that game. You still have to do all those things. So in a individual sport, I could see where PEDs make sense. I say, okay, strip them from the situation. But when it comes to baseball, I don't see especially with Barry. Barry was a 30-30 hitter. If you guys didn't know, Barry Bonds played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He hit 30 home runs. He stole 30 bases. Do you know how strong you have to be to hit 30 home runs in any situation? And then on top of that, do you know how fast you have to be to steal 30 bases? The point blank period, he was a Hall of Famer before he even went to the San Francisco Giants. So that's how I feel. Sorry to rant, guys, but that's just the truth.
That's good. I agree.
There's one other player that I want to tip my hat to because, I'm rooting for him as a Boston Red Sox fan, and that's Dustin Pedroia. He was part of some World Series teams. Small dude. He made it seem the improbable possible when he won that MVP.
Right.
And he was a great fielder. He was like a groundhog. That boy pop up out the dirt with the ball in his hand. You're like, how the hell he make it over there? Make the throw from the ground like that. So not saying he needs to get in on his first ballot, but he's going to be back on the ballot next year. You got to reach that threshold, and he's coming back. So, yeah, I'm proud of the three that made it, and I do think if they're the person who was closest to making it, who didn't, Carlos Beltran, I think he'll get in. I think he deserves it when you hit
400.
Yeah, over 400 home runs, 1,500 ribbies, almost 3,000 hits, and just being part of a lot of winning teams.
Yeah.
I tip my cap to him. He'll get in next year. He'll get in before it's all said and done, for sure.
The culture he brought for Venezuela. Oh man,
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Sorry,
listeners. Puerto Rico. Yes, that man. Yeah, the culture that he brought. I remember when he played for the Mets, like how much influence he had there.
Yeah. And if you win that ring, when you win a ring,
yeah.
And for the listeners, can you tell the guys how many votes they have to get, what percentage of the vote they have to get in order to get the Hall of Fame?
I think it's 75%.
Yeah,
to get
75% of the votes.
Yeah. Okay. To get into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah.
75%, guys. That's what you need.
Yep. And basically, Ichiro Suzuki tied Mariano Rivera for the not tied. What is it? He tied. What is it? Derek Jeter of that one vote.
I was gonna say Mariano should have been unanimous.
No, he's unanimous. He's the only unanimous. Yeah, he's the only unanimous.
He should be the only one.
100%.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Well, beautiful day in MLB. Shall we talk a little basketball, guys?
I like that.
A little something. We always love that.
Woo!
Yeah, I see Sam with that Luka jersey on over there. I hope
sir.
that boy can get back on the court soon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm rooting for him.
How about some trade rumors here, guys? Because I I know we like to talk about. Maybe we'll start it off with Jimmy Butler. We'll get him out the way because I obviously it's a big topic of contention and has been a big topic for the last few weeks. Jimmy Butler's back in the lineup. Hasn't been playing outstanding, and the Portland Trailblazers beat Miami tonight. So Miami not looking particularly great. They'll probably middle around and still make playoffs, but a piece of news. The Phoenix Suns have accumulated 3 additional first-round picks via the Jazz. They've traded their 2031 first-round pick in order to get less favorable, but 3 first-round picks.
Okay.
So are the Phoenix Suns accumulating and stockpiling so that Jimmy Butler can make their way over?
I mean, we talked about this in our exclusive NBA episode. Number one, you bring Jimmy back in the lineup. Makes sense why these boys are trash and getting beat by 30, 25, whatever. Because, listen, he's on his way out. Phoenix Suns, Jimmy, Book, Durantula. Could that be the next big 3? I mean, if Miami can stockpile some of these picks, would be great. Especially, setting up the future. I don't know, guys. Why is he playing? That's the real question. We know he might go to Phoenix. Why is he playing? I don't understand why he's playing, because he could get hurt, something could happen. What's the point of that? Just to parade him around to let him know he still got something?
Yep. Basically, I feel like like what I said last episode, I'm playing that guy. I still signed him. He's still my boy. Like, I still gotta let him go. And I feel like I don't know. I just saw something that kind of sparked my attention. A new squad that Jimmy Butler can go to that can help in the postseason. A very young team, everybody. The Memphis Grizzlies.
Ooh.
What if we see Jimmy with Ja? But I feel like Desmond gonna have to go.
I don't like that for the Grizzlies. If I'm the Grizzlies, I'm staying young. I'm
You're
staying
not gonna
young.
take him?
I'm not taking a $50 million contract for someone over 35. Not that no disrespect to Jimmy, because I will take Jimmy on my team. I just think not that team. I would prefer him to, if I was the Warriors, I'm still saying take Wiggins and whichever of the young guys minus Kuminga.
Okay.
Draft picks, maybe
Okay.
the Spurs. Take some of our young guys and
the
let's
Spurs
put Jimmy
seem
with
pretty
Wemby.
good.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I like the Grizzlies team. Maybe it's just because I feel like the Grizzlies have a decent playoff chance already.
And
So,
then
but-
I think Josh just getting back. I said give him a little time. Give him a little time.
Yeah, well, Miami apparently is content to hold him if a trade doesn't come to fruition, but I don't think that's a good idea. So, how about this one, guys? I have an interesting this news here. Cameron Johnson on the Brooklyn Nets. Nets are reportedly asking for 2 first-round picks for Cam Johnson, y'all. You giving up 2 first rounds for Cam Johnson? I'll give one. David will give every single second-round pick available because we know what those things is worth.
Listen,
But-
you already knew what I was about to say. Listen, I'll give my 2 second round picks in the next coming up years, and maybe a first in like 4 years. So
and buy you a burger and fries.
I'll buy you a burger and fries for Cam Johnson. I'll give you my first round pick in 6 years, and I'll take take my 2s. Just take my 2s. You got my 2s. I ain't got no problem with that. I mean, Cam Johnson is just jumping from team to team. He was definitely looking promising when he played for Phoenix. That was a team we were just talking about. And him heading to the Nets, the Brooklyn. You think you're gonna do something, you're not, because it's
He's
Brooklyn.
doing well. In his defense,
playing well.
I'll tell you his stat line: 32 minutes a game, 19.4 points, shooting 49% from the field, including 41.9% from 3-point range, averaging 4 rebounds and 3 assists. It's not outstanding, right?
No,
No, it's not. It's not. Maybe on the cusp of All-Star on a different year if it was a down year in the NBA. I still think that's very, very serviceable. I would maybe trade like one piece of young talent in a first-round draft pick. Maybe not 2, but let's remember like when the Celtics traded for Derek White. Derek White's stats wasn't even this good. and we still dropped first round picks. We traded Kemba Walker in a first round pick to get Al Horford back because we was just trying to get Kemba Walker's contract off our hands and get someone serviceable. So I mean, maybe not 2 first rounds, but I'm not. I would say like a young piece and 1 first round.
I'd give a piece in a first. I'd give a nice you know, I mean, if one of my second round picks, you know, pawned out pretty well, and I was like, okay, I'll give you that and a little something for Cam Johnson. All right. You know, the real question is, I'm not 100% sure on his salary. You know what I mean? The GM Sim, if you know what's going on with that, how many years he still has left on his deal, because I don't want to do him for a rental. You know what I mean? That wouldn't necessarily be fun for me.
Yeah, the squad will have until 2027, 2028. He'll be
I'm
free
cool
agent.
with that.
So yeah,
I'm giving my next 3 years of 2s and maybe a player. Or, you know what I'm saying?
It's only a $94 million contract over 4 years. And if we look at the trades from this year so far, I think D'Angelo's Russell, his contract is the biggest of anyone who's been traded so far. There hasn't been anyone over $20 million in average annual salary. Like that. So you could see the tentative nature of trades so far this year. Do you think that means like someone like Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, you think that they're going to get moved or what? Because these are all-star players.
I mean, Vucevic has been going crazy recently. He's been putting up a clinic, double and doing crazy. I think he might even put up 40 a couple days ago. I mean, yeah, I think he's really trying to get himself in a package deal. I think the thing is that these GMs be asking so much. Like, they be like, I want 3 first-round picks for Zach LaVine, who's in his 30s and, you know what I mean, has never led a team to an Eastern Conference Finals. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I want 2 firsts, and you're going to trade me your best player for Vucevic. Make it make sense. He's a second option, third option at best, you know what I mean, on a team with great defense. But still, a third option player. So, you know, if these GMs were making a little bit more sense and not drinking their own Kool-Aid, I get it, but everybody's trying to fleece each other. So there needs to be some big moves. The Lakers need to make a move. Golden State needs to make a move. You know what I mean? Phoenix needs to make a move.
Definitely.
So, you know, there are teams that need, you know what I mean? Exactly. Philly. I mean, there are teams that need to make moves. So
can I piggyback off of you saying that the Warriors need to make a move? Because we talked about this last episode, and it's something I still haven't gotten over yet. So we just saw the Boston Celtics go into the Warriors' home court. It's not Oracle Arena no more, right? They have a new arena. I don't even know what it's called.
Chase Center, San Francisco.
Yeah.
They got 40-pieced at home. That's the worst home loss in Steve Kerr's era, and that's the worst loss at home by the Warriors in 40 years, 125-85. So let's revisit this discussion about Curry's comments about give us some time, don't mortgage the future. Bruh, the window's closing, and I hate to say it, I think like Buddy Hield had an amazing first month, and that team was so good when he was shooting 40% from 3 and averaging like 17, 18, 19 a game. What the hell happened to him? I mean, they need to make a move to me. I think the Warriors really need to make a move if they want to stay in the playoffs.
I mean, listen, you know, Buddy Hield comes out like this every season. He comes out coming after the, you know, the training camp. He comes out, he's hot. He's fresh legs. And then midway through the season, we don't hear about him anymore. Sometimes he gets good enough where he's a trade piece, and that's about it. So, you know what I mean? I think, you know, great shooter, not enough stamina, in my opinion, in terms of longevity through an 82-game season. You know, I think your boy Curry's eating a little bit of his hat right now. Curry's eating crow. Really. He's eating big-time crow, because the fact you get 40-pieced in your own house for the first time in 40 years really shows you during like, you're not out of your prime. During the prime, one of the time, you know, I mean, the end of your prime of your career, it really tells you something. The Warriors are in trouble. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but the Warriors are in trouble.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Like what you guys said, Stephen Curry's what, 37, 36? If you guys don't make a move, Warriors, Curry's just gonna retire, just going down. Like right now, what we just said, like Buddy Hield, what the Warriors were top of the Western Conference for first month of basketball while Curry was out, and we were like, oh, wow, okay, there's a person that's stepping up. All right, this is pretty cool. When Chef comes back, it's going to be pretty nice. But no, now Buddy's in the bench. Now they traded for Dennis. Now it's like this just shows the team is a mess right now. What's his name? Brandon Podiemski. He looked good last season, but what's his output right now in his offense? Andrew Wiggins is very not consistent and not the guy that we've kind of envisioned when the Warriors were in their finals chase that year. Draymond's not Draymond that we knew from before. Definitely much older. So yeah, the younger pieces have to be stepping up, and I'm looking at the Warriors like the Warriors box scores from past weeks, and I'm like, you can't just have like, I guess it's good to have like a flurry of member of your team leading in rebounds, but I like to have like my center lead the rebounds, right? Or like my main guard leading in assists. Like I don't want no like this person's popping off and then this person's on the assist ladder. I'd rather have a consistent basis on my squad, and the Warriors need to do work, and it has to be now because the trade deadline's in 16 days, guys.
Yeah, unless you're Jokic and you lead your team in every category.
Everything.
Yeah, Sam says it best. You know what I mean? You need consistency if you're going to win games, and the Warriors don't have consistency. That's just what it boils down to. I mean, going from a team that was leading, you know what I mean, the West to the team that is leading the West. I'm talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm telling you guys, listen, you know, we might be seeing a finals preview these last couple meetings. You know, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder played the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, Cleveland took the first one. It was a close game. But Oklahoma City took the second game, and it wasn't even close. I mean, when I tell you guys, Shea is looking like number one in MVP. He's looking like a leader. He's looking like, you know, he can actually take this team not just on the western side, but also on the east. You know what I mean? I don't know what you guys see, but I'm seeing a team that really has taken some time to not do anything crazy, make a couple moves, move some pieces, stockpile, build draft capital, and really create a war chest with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm just amazed to see Shea and what he's able to do. Guys, talk to me. Did you guys catch out this game? Can you believe that my Oklahoma City Thunder just ran rampant through these fools? Talk to me.
You called it. You said that the Thunder was going to smash them this game. I thought it might be a little bit closer. And when they said Hartenstein was out for a week, I was a little bit like, ooh, the formula of the two bigs, just like Milwaukee throwing bigs at you from the NBA Cup. Nope. Shea said, I'm taking over MVP style. So that would be a great 7-game series where it stands right now. If Chet and Hartenstein come back, I'm definitely leaning toward the Thunder, without a doubt. But both great teams.
To update about Chet Holmgren, now he'll be reevaluated in 3 to 5 weeks now. It went from, now we finally came to a time. It was 8 to 11 weeks when he first got injured in November. Now it's 3 to 5 weeks. And now Isaiah Hartenstein, I think he's going to get reevaluated in a week. So, I mean, he's been out and they've been winning. So I feel like the Thunder just needs to keep on bowling. I mean, look at the box score here, like Jalen Williams, you know, he's been balling. The other Jalen Williams, Shea, Dort, Cason Wallace. These guys have been showing and proving and stepping up when their big man is out.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
The big difference is the Cavaliers ain't going to win these games when Donovan Mitchell puts up 2 duds in a row. Yeah. Your best player has got to play good. So they got away with it the first game because you had Garland and Jared Allen and Mobley, and then you got Wade hitting 3-point shots, Strus hitting 3-point shots. You can't get bailed out when the best player on your opponent's team is balling out, dropping a 40-piece at an incredibly high efficiency rate. So shout out to my coworker Jan. He loved him Thunder, and I know he was happy. I texted him like, damn, your boy's going crazy.
Listen, the Thunder's nice, and I mean, and Shea, like I said, he's just, I think him playing in the Olympics, him really leading a team over there really makes a big difference. Donovan Mitchell is known for taking a snooze during the playoffs. There are games where he's supposed to be playing up and he doesn't play. I mean, not to say he's not a baller, not to say that he's not an amazing player, but he does have a tendency to shrink in big moments.
You mean leading up to the playoffs? Because he's a good playoff player, bro. Like Jamal Murray. Yeah, remember the legendary bubble duel?
He got some moments though where he don't come up clutch to me.
True.
That's really what it boils down to. When he's playing against mediocre talent, he blows them out. But again, in 2 dud games against a guard play and who knows how to do it, especially with Dort and all those guys, they play defense. They know how to play the game. So, Shea. And then we're leading into this real segment, which is our MVP ladder of 2024-2025. Shea is number 1.
You think so?
Oh, definitely.
I know Sam's got something to say.
I mean, Sam, you could come and rebuttal this in a second, but I'm gonna talk to me a few reasons why Shea should be the number 1 option in terms of this MVP. Number 1, you're the number 1 team in the West. Number 2, you're smashing other teams that play against you that are to be known possibly to be playoff favorites. And number 3, you got snubbed a couple of years ago. Last year, my bad. So you deserve it this year. Sam, what you got to say? Talk to me.
I'm gonna say this. If you look at the stats, Mr. Nikola Jokic,
I don't want to hear none about
averaging 30, 13, and 9.9, so I'll say 10.
Listen,
triple-double. And I'm saying you got to give MVP the triple-double, man. Come on. Jokic is going crazy, guys. And also, I'm always going to say, going back to when Russ won his triple-double MVP in the Thunder. Thunder were 6th, and they gave MVP to Mr. Triple-Double. So if Jokic continues to give me this triple-double, I'm giving my award to triple-double. I mean Jokic. I call Jokic triple-double. But yes. What do you think, Mikey? Yeah. Who's your MVP?
If I was being honest with you, I would be torn if I had to make the vote right now, because it's so hard to not say that Jokic isn't the MVP. The problem is, I think Jokic hasn't played this sort of competition within a 1-week span like the Thunder did, where they had to run 2 games with Cleveland and a game with Boston. So I respect the fact that Shea has taken the number 1 spot, but I don't think that I think this is far from over between Jokic and SGA. In my opinion, it's a race between them two. The Bucks would have to go on a crazy run. Mm-hmm. Tatum is going to have to go crazy, maybe average 40 for a month. And man, we'll talk about it.
Tatum and Victor switched, 40. I think.
Yeah, he is. Wow. He's still top 5. Yeah. And then you got Wemby, who's moved his way up because he's averaging 4 blocks in his DPOY.
4 blocks?
And averaging 25 and 10. The thing is, though, you got to be a good team. And the only rebuttal that I have about the Nuggets is that the Nuggets are 8-2 in their last 10, just like the Thunder are. And we was nervous about the Nuggets not too long ago. It was like, okay, 4 or 5 games above 500. They're starting to make a bit of a run here, but we're mid-season. We know what's going to happen with the Thunder. We know they're going to play good because they're young. Let's see if the Nuggets can hold it up. I'm fine with SGA at 1 right now, but I do think it's a 2-man race. I don't know. If there was one person in the field or top 10 that y'all think can make a run, I mean, is there anyone? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, it could be Giannis, but again, Giannis would have to make a crazy run. You got Wemby, but then, they'd have to really get up in the standings. Cat's been hurt. I don't think he's going to make it. Tatum, you got too much scrutiny around you. We had a lot of high hopes for Tatum. I thought Tatum was going to be my MVP this year. He's not looking the way he needs to be, at least during the regular season. Maybe he's trying to save it for the playoffs. How many MVPs are you going to give Joker? How many? 1, 2,
as many as you can.
4, 5. I'm just confused. How many are we going to give this man? Because at this point, It's just until he's out of the league, just give him the MVP because he's gonna average a triple-double. That's just how it is.
Or somebody step up.
Man, give somebody else
Somebody
some love,
triple-double.
okay? I understand he's been dropping triple-doubles for his entire career almost. Give
Tell
another.
that to the NFL. Tell that to the NFL because the dude who's gonna win an MVP is already out.
He's already out.
So we'll get to that in a minute. Quick touch on this one, guys. The
Yes,
Rookie
sir.
of the Year race.
Ooh.
Kind of not that compelling to me. Alex Starr has moved into the first place spot deservedly because he's had a great month of December with a solid start to his new year since January came around. So, but I don't feel compelled by this race that much here. Alex Starr is in that first spot. He's getting a lot of playing time for the Wizards, but they're trash, absolutely trash. And that's why Valanciunas is coming off the bench and not playing as many minutes. And then, like, slightly behind him, you got Yves Missy, who's also getting all that playing time in New Orleans. He deserves it, but also so many injuries and that team not being deep right now. So, is there anything that sticks out to you in that race? Like, what are we thinking about the Rookie of the Year? Because
I mean, it was an underwhelming draft class to come into this, you know what I mean, this whole thing. So it makes sense why the rookie race is really underwhelming. No one's really made an entire leap to kind of separate themselves from the pack. I mean, you got Star, yeah, you know what I mean, but he's playing a lot of garbage minutes, and even on New Orleans, like, this is the thing about these rookies. They're playing garbage minutes. They're on garbage teams. They're not really, doing anything of substance. And I think even with the hype that we had with college basketball, we didn't really have any really star rookies coming out of college this past year. I think this upcoming year we're gonna have a couple. I think it's gonna be really exciting. I'm happy for you know what I mean, for the NBA in terms of that in the draft. But miss me when it comes to this rookie class. I'm just like, hey, in a few years we're gonna be saying who on a couple of these guys. So, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just let it rock. If one of you guys becomes a star, I didn't see it. I didn't see no highlights at least halfway through the 2024-25 season. Maybe I might see something after the halftime. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Maybe after the All-Star break. I might see something from it. But y'all need to step up. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like David's totally right. Like, we got spoiled last year in the Rookie of the Year candidates. I mean, starting off, Victor Wemby won Rookie of the Year last year, but he was 21-10. And we got Chet coming back from injury. He didn't play his first year. He got drafted because of injury, but he averaged 16-8. There was Brandon Miller from the Hornets. He averaged 17. And we got Jamie Jaquez from the Heat, still averaged 11.9. And if you look at the leader here, the leader's 11. There's not even higher than 15 points per game. So this class this year has been very, very weak. I'm looking forward to next year's rookie, Cooper Flag, coming up. But, yeah, it's very underwhelming. And there's not much hype into this Rookie of the Year award for me, personally.
Bunch of second-round picks parading.
Second-round picks.
That's what it is. There's a bunch of second-round picks parading as first-round picks because there wasn't a lot of draft pool that year. It is what it is.
no, we were spoiled last year for Wemby.
Well, we were very spoiled. Does that conclude NBA? Does that conclude our NBA talk? Is that it?
Y'all know what I'm ready for.
Listen, are you ready for some football? Oh my gosh, are y'all ready?
Wow.
This might have been
Unbelievable.
one of the greatest weekends in football that we've had in a long time. I mean, we got to start it off. I mean, should we start off and how the times and how it went? Should we just start from the top? I mean, the script couldn't be written any better. We have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Houston Texans in Kansas City, and you already know what it was. Kansas City won the game. Come on, fellas. The road to Super Bowl is on its way. The three-peat is coming. Guys, when I tell you, CJ Stroud was just overwhelmed by the defensive line of the Kansas City Chiefs. It was crazy. I mean, think about this, okay, guys? Think about this. The Houston Texans outgained the Kansas City Chiefs by over 100 yards. Okay, had over 100 yards more than them. Okay, they also had no turnovers. Okay, and they still lost. Do you know the teams that outscored their opponent in terms of not outscored but outgained their opponent and didn't have any turnovers? Do you know what the record for those teams were? 43-0. Okay. So when I tell you the script couldn't be written any better for the Kansas City Chiefs and my boy Patrick Mahomes to get his third ring in a row. Guys, did you watch this game? Talk to me.
Yeah, Travis Kelce got a really big backpack, and he said, "Hop in, y'all." That boy showed up. You know what he does in the playoffs, but it's good old football, winning football. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me that was interesting is no catches from Nuke, no catches from Hollywood, and no problems. We're the Chiefs. We win in the playoffs. Okay, question. Before we got to get to it because it's gonna come up. The refs had the game decided already, or what?
Decided already.
Listen,
Because this boy can't even get hit without a flag coming out. This boy Mahomes can't get hit without a flag coming out, huh?
Did you see that? Did you see that little soccer little acting he did in the sideline? Oh my gosh!
Guys, I understand that there might be some slight favoritism with the Zebras when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. Okay, he's in love with the Zebras, and the Zebras love him. I get it. But listen, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, LeBron, Kobe, all of these guys were amazing players. Peyton Manning, all of these guys got calls. Okay, this is part of the game. All right, there's a game within a game, and the Kansas City Chiefs are playing Chinese chess. Because I'm telling you this right now, they're doing things that other teams just can't do. Do I like my boy Mahomes flopping like he's an international soccer star, Ronaldo? No, that's not necessarily the type of game that I want to play. However, the NFL has sent out a notice that says when in doubt, when the quarterback gets hit on the sidelines, throw a flag. And the Kansas City Chiefs are taking advantage of that. The same way Belichick back in the day took advantage of the eligible receivers and having the linemen catching touchdowns out the backfield or out, you know what I mean, in terms of, during these playoff games. When you know the rules and you know how to exploit the rules, it's just how it worked, guys. I don't know what to say.
I will say that was a vintage Mahomes touchdown pass in the fourth when it was 13-12. They needed to get a touchdown, not just some points, not just a field goal. That was a vintage Mahomes play.
Definitely.
Coming down by the ankles, falling to his belly, looking for that big boy open in the end zone. That was vintage Mahomes. I don't think the refs decided this game. I think that Coach Reed decided this game.
It was never in doubt for me. This was never a game. I wasn't going to have a sophomore player come into my house during my three-peat run and beat me. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about another game in a second. You know what I mean? Led by Michael John, and maybe that guy could come into my house and maybe he could beat me. But when it comes to a C.J. Stroud and a depleted Texan offense, wasn't happening. I mean, it's a question that I do have for Sam.
Yeah.
How do you feel, right, about one, the Kansas City running game being non-existent, and two, the resurgence of Travis Kelce? Is it just me, or when Taylor Swift is in the building, this man be playing like he's 22?
I mean, you saw it. You saw it. Travis Kelce ending his night, 7 receptions, 117 yards, and a touchdown. And I just want to say, before I answer your question, he breaks... Well, this is his 9th postseason game of 100-plus receiving yards, breaking a tie with Hall of Famer Jerry Rice for most in NFL history. So I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Travis Kelce. I mean, you beat the Hall of Famer. You're on quest for your Hall of Fame. But I feel like even though the running game for the Kansas City Chiefs was non-existent, I mean, look at Travis Kelce. At big moments, he takes the opportunity and he does it, right? And he gets it done. And basically what I always say, Chiefs always going to find a way to win. And big shout out to Coach Reed for that shot calling and game calling for sure. I agree. But yeah, shout out to the Chiefs. Going versus them Bills now.
What about this next game? A team from the NFC East, but not Sam's team, is moving on.
Surprising.
Not a lot of people saw that one coming. The Commanders rolled into Detroit and dethroned them Lions 45-31 in a shootout. High scoring game. If you took the over, you was happy at halftime because you was like, that's about to smash. I'm going to just call out a few things that really stood out to me in the game, right? David, you've hammered on this before. Jared Goff throwing interceptions. Unlike when they beat the Texans and they threw 5 interceptions, Jared Goff threw 5 interceptions. It's hard to make it work against a team this efficient on offense. 2, De'Ami Brown was the leading receiver for the Commanders again. This fool said, I'll help y'all get downfield. But I really was feeling like this was a better run effort, a better running game by the Commanders. Eckler broke a few great runs. Jaden Daniels carried the ball 16 times. But to me, he's not taking hits. He's like Lamar. He's swerving and getting out, unlike Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, which is why it concerns me when Jalen Hurts coming off a concussion is running. One of the biggest plays that I felt like was one of the biggest mistakes, maybe it's what helped Ben Johnson get a new job. Jamison Williams throwing an interception. You're telling me you're down 10, 38-28, and you're going to run a trick play to have Jamison Williams throw the ball on the sideline. I felt like that was when I knew the Lions was done for. So this was a really entertaining game to watch. I think this was the funnest game to watch. Maybe not the best game because I think that one of the 2 remaining games might have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
But Jaden Daniels is cold as ice. First rookie to do that. 350 yards, 300 yards combined 2 games in a row.
Crazy. Not
turning the ball over. I'll turn it over to y'all. I'm happy McLaurin got a touchdown as well, but I'll turn it over to y'all because.
I mean, guys, this was a huge game. I mean, I had the Lions winning this game. I didn't think it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be a Jaden Daniels pick situation, and that was how they were going to kind of take it. I knew it was going to be a close game kind of throughout. Jaden Daniels is that guy. Guys, he's one of 5 quarterbacks as a rookie to lead his team to a possible NFC championship game. I mean, this is unbelievable. Like, absolutely unbelievable. One thing that I've talked about, and I really was dead right this weekend. If you guys don't know about your boy, go back and listen to some of these podcasts because I'm telling you that I've been saying if this is what happened, this is what's gonna happen because I said Jared Goff gonna throw them picks, dog, and I knew it was coming. I wasn't sure if they were gonna be able to survive it. I thought also Jaden was gonna throw 1 or 2, but Jared Goff, I think these NFC quarterbacks, I don't know if it's the team gets you paid and that's why you look so good or what, because every single Sam Darnold, abysmal, fell apart. We got Detroit, fell apart, and don't get me wrong, depleted defense, but fell apart. Even Baker against the Commanders, quote unquote, fell apart. Brock Purdy in certain situations, quote unquote, fell apart. So I'm confused. I don't know what it is. Is it Dan Campbell just hiding these guys, or what? Because Detroit just looked like they looked like they took the same drink that Minnesota took the week before. They went to the same club, hung out with the same people. They was out late.
They did score 31 though. They put up 31. So
you put up 31, but how much did you give up?
yeah.
That's what it boils down to. Shoot.
That was the issue. But injuries, those defensive injuries finally caught up to them. Because we talked about that, is that gonna play a factor? And obviously durability is a big part of it. Maybe if you have one of the best pass rushers and someone who was in line possibly to make a run for defensive player of the year on your line, maybe you it works. If your starting cornerbacks is out there, maybe De'Ami Brown isn't the leading receiver on the Washington Commanders 2 weeks in a row in the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, I think it's more, I would say, the Goff thing, the Goff factor of throwing that pick in the end zone. He tried to rip it in there before halftime. You got to let that thing go or lead him a little bit. It's not a terrible play. It's a good play by the defense, but you can't make those mistakes in the most crucial moments, because when you have someone who is studying the game like Jaden Daniels, they ain't going to make the mistakes. CJ Stroud didn't make no mistakes. Surprise, they just couldn't get points.
Yeah.
They could have won that game. Yeah. So
I just want to talk about one thing about Jaden Daniels on what was popping and trending when I saw after they won the Lions game on how he trains. So basically, Jaden Daniels, as young as he is as a rookie, he uses virtual reality simulations for training. So basically, he wakes up and he wears his VR and sets it to the highest setting. So basically, what he says, quote unquote, he says once you get out there, meaning like the field, everything slows down. And he goes, I know this is coming. I've seen this before, but it moved 20 times faster. So I feel like this new technology, new age of sports too, and taking advantage of the new tech can definitely improve and definitely get you into that higher level.
that is a great point, Sam. That company was failing. They was trying to market it for a different sport. I forget if it was baseball or what it was
really?
for. It was for something else, and they were like, "Damn, we're failing," and it got into LSU's hands. The rest is history.
I mean, yeah, and I feel like colleges and even professional teams was gonna take advantage of that for sure. Now, looking at Daniel's success,
the rookie's still doing it in his Cinderella run.
isn't that crazy?
Talk to me about the other NFC East teams. Sam.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Come on.
Los Angeles Rams and that snowy Lincoln Financial. Shout out Doobie. He was there. He was there at that game. Eagles win 28-22 in that snowy Philly game, guys. And Saquon Barkley once again destroys the Rams. Well, it was a great game. Not destroys, I say this time, but he be running 26 carries, 205 yards with 2 touchdowns. And then, man, oh man, I heard Saquon Barkley spoke with Shady McCoy about the snow game. Because you know how Shady McCoy goes in the snow. And then Shady McCoy says, I sent my messages to the team and to Saquon. So I'm sure Saquon, he read them notes maybe 3 times. And I just want to give credit to one man, guys, in this Eagles team in the defense side, Mr. Jalen Carter, guys. This man went crazy with 2 quarterback sacks, 5 total tackles, a forced fumble, a tip pass. And I mean, to the first play to the last play of the game in defense, in all cylinders, man. This man from sophomore year now, we drafted him last year. He's definitely growing into that vital piece in that defensive side of the Eagles. What do you guys think about this game? How'd you guys feel?
I mean, first off, yeah, I do want to give a big shout out to my boy Nick. He's a huge Philly fan. We was watching the game. We was a little nervous, just a couple situations. However, we knew that Philly was going to take this. I mean, you just spoke about this man, Jalen Carter. If you don't win a Defensive Player of the Year award in the next 5 to 10 years, you know what I mean, I don't know what's going on, because you looked like an absolute man amongst boys out there, and it looked like you enjoyed playing in the snow. which was great for us. Philly. Guys, I need y'all. I need y'all to make it to the Super Bowl. So get to it, baby. Get to it, because 200 yards on the ground for Saquon, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts. He did hurt me a little bit. I had you for the under in terms of rushing yards. You had 54 with that touchdown to start the drive.
Yes.
When I tell you the Philly fly is the Eagles is back, baby. We back. I'm telling you, it's over. We flying to the Super Bowl. It's a wrap. But yeah, I mean, there's not enough that you could say about this game. One thing I will say, and one team that we haven't talked about a lot, the Los Angeles Rams. You guys did an amazing job. You guys really did. You played in the snow. You're out in the cold. You're going against the Philadelphia Eagles. You're away from home. There's fires. There's debris. There's all these things on your mind, and you put up a scare. If you watch that game, it was still close in the fourth quarter. You guys had a little something. When Puka caught that, that's what I'm saying. When Puka caught that ball, I saw
to the last play, bro.
Oh, pimping. So, guys, I'm really excited about my Eagles. They're gonna really need to have to do some damage if they want to win this NFC Championship. Yes, but I'm happy. Great win. That's all I can say.
Kyron Williams ran the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
McVay knows how to utilize the running backs. The time of possession battle was super, super close. It's why this game stayed close. Basically 50-50. Very close to it. The big difference, the 2 fumbles. That's what is going to kill you. Turnovers. If one team is taking care of the ball and the other one isn't, and it's a close game, the team that didn't turn over the ball is going to win. We saw it.
Yep.
We saw it again. We saw it. This wasn't the only game that happened.
No.
So,
I mean, you pay double for turnovers. You pay double. Never forget that. Regular season, it's not that bad. Postseason, it's a cold day if you think you're gonna get a turnover and win a game.
Cold day.
It's a cold day for you, pimping.
Stafford had a rough year, but he still showed he's got it, and especially in this game, even in the snow.
Yeah.
That boy still flung that ball. So
do we think that he's coming back? There's a lot of speculation about, bringing Stafford back. There's a lot of stipulation about Kupp coming back. What's his future for the Rams going to be? We have a great young defense that's really coming into their own. I think in the next couple of years, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. How do we feel about the Rams this year? Did they over deliver? You know what I mean? Was this do we think that next season could be very promising for them? What's up?
If that defense plays good.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the Rams this year were not even going to make the playoffs. Answering your question about Stafford coming back, he has one more year with the Rams, and I think he will come back. I don't think the Rams will find any trade for Stafford's value, so I think Stafford might retire after next year. In my opinion, he's going to turn 38 next year, 39 in his free agency. Unless he goes lights out next year with like Cooper and like Puka. I think he's going to retire after he's done with his contract. Yeah.
Mikey, what are we thinking? Are we thinking this is it?
I think he's hanging it up after. They might have one more run. Well, let's see what happens, but I think it's close to it. Kupp ain't like he was. Puka's nice, but Kupp ain't like he was. They need one more offensive weapon.
Yeah.
One more.
Puka was devastated. I saw his face expression that time. He was devastated that game.
Listen. Do we need to talk? I need my man's Michael John to talk about this game, this last game.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you, the crystal ball was literally in my hands. I looked at it, I forecasted it, and for some reason, like an idiot, my heart was like, no, even though I saw the future in my hand, I saw the future. I saw it. I said, I went in the past. I saw the whole thing. I saw the script. I told them all, but I need Michael John help me, man. My heart betrayed me after I saw the future. Tell the viewers what happened.
You knew it. This is what happens to Lamar in the playoffs. A 1-1. And we ain't talking about one touchdown. He had two of them things, actually. He didn't play that bad, but one interception, one fumble.
Yep.
It felt destined for the Ravens to come up short again, to me, in devastating fashion as well, with a particular focus on the devastating part. Because it feels like that's what it's been for them, like always like one step short, some one step behind. A few key factors that I felt like played into this game was obviously snow, right? Just like the Eagles and Rams game.
Right.
But the Rams overperformed. They're a West Coast team. Ain't no excuse if you're an East Coast team. Baltimore get cold and they get snow just like we do up here in the East, just like Buffalo gets. So the biggest difference, as highlighted when we just talked about Eagles Rams, is turnovers. When you turn the ball over in super close games that come down to less than a field goal difference, that's what happens. You lose those games. Can I ask a thought right now? When the Ravens was down and they scored that touchdown in the third quarter, they went for 2 points preemptively to try to turn it into a 7-point game. Whatever happened to the old school conservative thought of just taking the 7? Because theoretically, when they held Buffalo to 3 points, when Buffalo in the fourth quarter had a chance to score a touchdown, but they held them to 3. If the Ravens just took an extra point the first time, they can take an extra point on that second touchdown, and we're not talking about 2-point conversions. Is that crazy? Are we like, is it too conservative? We got the old school. I know new school analytics. Like, there's small factors that differentiate these games, and I think that was the biggest difference, though, 1 or 2 points.
GM Sam, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a great point, Mikey. In that third quarter, failing that 2-point conversion, that could have made a huge difference. And I feel like it does. I feel like there's new age and there's old age, right? But I feel like you can never get wrong with the old age. That conventional sport, that conventional football can never go wrong. And I feel like they just made the wrong move at that right time and that wrong judgment, like in that time. So that's what wrong timing, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Sam, you say it best. I mean, the analytics plays a huge role in sports today, guys. Whether you're doing sports betting, whether you're watching games, whether you're picking coaches, like even picking players, sports analytics is huge. However, the real factor of actual play and the human eye and the human ability to say, hey, I'm not sure if points are at a premium today. I think I need to take what's in front of me because really what's in front of me isn't going to last. I think that's really what I think as a Raven fan, I was confused about. Or not even a Raven fan, just a Lamar fan. You knew after he threw that pick earlier in the game, oh yeah, whatever's in front of me right now is not going to last. The coverages aren't going to last. My players aren't going to get open. The field's not going to be as great. Everything's not going to last. So I need to do whatever I need to do now in order to get my points as quickly as possible, control the clock, control the ball. And I think, Mike, you said it best too. The Ravens did what the Ravens do, which is crap the bed when it matters most. And I think a lot of that has to do with two things. One, you have a revolving door in terms of the pass catchers in Baltimore. You don't have, you have your number one receiver, Zay Flowers, which I think made a huge difference because instead of Mark Andrews getting the ball on some of these plays, especially where Mark Andrews fumbled. So really you turn the ball over 3 times, 1 interception, 1 fumble from Lamar, and 1 fumble for Mark Andrews. The Buffalo Bills should have lost this game.
Yeah. How about giving the ball to the king?
I mean,
true.
Don't you think that was the big? To me, I thought that it was weird. This is what I think is going to happen with the Buffalo Bills. If they play the second half that they played this game versus the Kansas City Chiefs, they ain't winning because they scored those 3 touchdowns in a row after they gave up that touchdown to start the game. They scored them 3 touchdowns in a row, up 21-10 at half. What happened? Keep the foot on the gas. They just tried to play like we have a lead. It's the snow. Let's just hand it off and get. You got to let Josh Allen do his thing because they didn't let him. They kept him under control and conservative. It won them the game. I just felt like the Ravens didn't lean into what their strengths are. I know Lamar is an MVP, but why are we trying to put the ball in the air when you have the king? Especially after that drive in the third quarter when you drive down like that.
I think it's a similar situation with Seattle, with Russell Wilson. You had a guy who was a young quarterback who was trying to send. You remember during those times that the Seattle thing when the Legion of Boom was holding it down. We were saying, is Russell going to be a top 5 quarterback? Is Russ going to be on the Mount Rushmore? Is Russ going to be coming with Brady's and the Ben Roethlisbergers and the Peyton Mannings? And we have Mr. Jackson, and I will still call him Mr. Jackson due to the fact that you're probably going to win your 3rd MVP. But dude, you look like Mrs. Jackson, not Mr. Jackson. Okay, you said I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. You did not do it for real. You just dropped it. And I think John Harbaugh said something. John Harbaugh said something, which I'll quote, and I'll try not to misquote it, but he said, "We did not acquire Derrick Henry. Excuse me. We did not acquire Derrick Henry to hand the ball off 20 times, 30 times a game. That's not why we acquired him." And do you understand that every single time that Derrick Henry has carried the ball more than 25 times, you have been undefeated? Make it make sense to me. He's the biggest man on the thing. You got some of the biggest guys on the field. It was a coaching blunder, and Lamar was Lamar.
With all that said, too, though, they still should have tied that game and went to overtime.
That's what I'm saying. Like
rip to Mark Andrews. Sorry, he a great tight end, one of the best I've seen in my day as an adult watching dudes run tight end. He's been one of the best, and it's just an unfortunate day to lose the fumble the way he lost it and to drop that ball on the game tying.
I'm not even upset about the drop either. The drop that's a tough catch. You don't know where you're at in terms of the behind you. You don't know if you're heading out of bounds, so you got to kind of have to look behind you while you're trying to catch. Do you know what I mean? And it's slippery. You know that if you don't catch it clean, you're not gonna catch it at all. A lot of people are giving him a lot of flack about that. You try to catch a ball heading backwards in the snow, the way that he did and staying in bounds. It's not as easy as you think. The fumble, he was just cute. He's just a little too cute for my taste. Just a little too cute.
I feel like the Buffalo Bills offense didn't really show much, but they definitely took advantage of the Ravens' mistakes with the turnovers, and that led them to the victory. Like what you said, if this was the Chiefs, I feel like the Bills would have lost this game. But the Bills here definitely took advantage of the turnovers that the Ravens have gotten. And Buffalo, league best plus 24 turnover differential during the regular season. The Bills won that turnover battle 2-1 when they beat the Chiefs earlier this season too. So the turnover battle is so huge, and especially in this game of playoffs here. So we'll see on how the Bills do in the next round.
I will say this, though. The Ravens had the highest ranked defense after week 10 in the NFL, I believe. It was those first 10 weeks when they was giving up 40 pieces, 35-point shootouts versus the Bengals and Steelers giving up them points. They had the best ranked defense heading into the playoffs. They were on like the biggest run, so to say, and Buffalo solved the equation in the first half. So do you guys want to make some predictions?
We have to.
Games?
We have
Gotta
to.
do it, baby. Gotta do it.
It's not that much. There's 3 games left this year, right? So
three games until the end of the NFL season. 3 games.
Wow, 3 games, guys. Kind of crazy.
Listen,
let's pick up where we left off right there then, because Buffalo is going up to Kansas City this time. You know what's on their mind.
Listen.
You know
who's going first, because you already know where my heart's at. You already know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think I'll go first because we know where I'm at and we know where you're at, Camden. So we'll make Sam be the deciding of which way it's gonna go. I have to ride with the guys, bro. I have to ride. I'm gonna say this is where it's a good game. I do think that this is more of a Buffalo actually plays well and really like punctuates a win finally over Kansas City, similar like they did earlier this year. I think they know what they need to do. It's just a matter of fact if they're gonna be able to pull it off or if Josh Allen's gonna throw a dumb pick. I don't think he will. I think Buffalo's up 27-13 late in the fourth, and Kansas City puts a touchdown up. But the game ends 27-20 Buffalo.
You know, listen, you already know where I'm at. I got the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl for a third time. Josh Allen is going to give me one of those faces. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to
the faces.
My prediction. One of I mean, he's going to hit me with one of those. He going to throw a pick. Listen, when I tell you that this Kansas City defense is coming for that behind, he coming. Okay? I'm telling you right now that blitz is coming. So have fun. Have fun throwing it up in the air on one-on-one coverage against Trent McDuffie and the Kansas City Chiefs. Because I'm telling you right now, that single high safety, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So I'm going to take Kansas City 34-17. They're gonna do a nice little. They're going
to whoop their ass, man.
Let them know Kansas City.
Damn, they going to whoop their ass, bro. Holy shit. Damn.
That's what I'm saying. 34-17. It's going to go crazy. We're going crazy. We're going crazy.
That defense better score half them points if y'all think Kansas City putting 30.
Listen, you might get a pick six from your boy. I'm just telling you. You might throw something. You're going to have to do something.
All right, guys. Buffalo has been 8-0 at their home stadium in this whole season, including playoffs.
Okay.
They've been 5-4 away, and you minus the last week because you take that out. 5-3. That's still some mistakes. And like what I said in like a couple episodes, I want that rematch. So it's gonna be a close one. 30-27, Kansas City, everybody. 30-27 is gonna be a crazy duel. But we going Kansas City to the Super Bowl.
Y'all manifesting points for the Chiefs. I don't know where it's coming from. I have no clue. Where are those 30 pieces?
You saw Travis? He about to go crazy.
I'm excited to see it. You're right. If it's going to be Travis might have a good game because Mark Andrews was getting loose. I think the concern is the running game, but ain't no Derrick Henry on the Chiefs.
Right.
Pacheco runs hard, but Kareem Hunt was their best rusher last week, and Kareem Hunt ain't doing that against the Bills front. So... Watch out for Von Miller. Watch out for Von Miller, Patty.
Watch out for Noah Gray, guys. I'm telling you right now, if you're a betting man, Noah Gray, 1.5 receptions. Put your money on it. Put the money on the floor. Noah Gray going to get you.
You know that the refs is going to be scared to throw flags for BS hits on Mahomes, too. So don't be surprised if he gets roughed up a little bit.
She was all over TikTok after that game. All over socials.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, you already know where me and Sam are going to be at, okay? You know what I'm saying? The real question is, right? This is the $1 million question. MSD Sports, you know what I mean? Our listeners, our crew. This is where the rubber meets the road, okay? This is where if the big boy going to put on his big boy pants and he's going to rock with the big boy situation. Michael John, and this is a singular conversation right to you. Is your boy Jaden Daniels making it to the Super Bowl as a rookie? That's the $1 million question. We'll give you a minute. I'm gonna give you a minute. I'll give you a minute to ponder. It's a big money stuff right here.
He could. I want to. What is the spread on this right now? What's the Eagles' favor by?
It ain't much.
I wonder what it. I want to see what it is. All right, they have 6-point favorite.
Okay.
6-point favorite at home, over under 47.5. I kind of see this being a lower scoring game. I don't know. I mean, 47.5 is kind of low, but I kind of see the under hitting on this one.
Okay.
I'm feeling a lower scoring game.
Okay, and who you taking?
The truth be told, I don't really want to say the Commanders because I don't feel like the Eagles have been there and done this, right? They had their down year as well, where they had to go through the trial and tribulation of starting off amazing and then burning out like Icarus flew way too close to the sun. And they flew too close to the sun, and they said, you know what? We're going to go back up there in that chariot with Helios, but we bring in Saquon Barkley with us, so now we cooling. Because Saquon has been running fast enough that I think he literally could run through the sun. So with that being said, we're going to go Washington Commanders.
Oh, what? What? Commanders to the Super Bowl?
I'll do it. Listen, I'll take both picks against because we have to have some fun here in these predictions. And if I have to be the lone dissenter,
you are tripping.
If I have to be
I thought she was going the Eagles.
Same. Talk about Saquon running the sun. I was like, I bet you gonna look at the Eagles. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if Jalen Hurts can get away with the game like similar. Like Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts had a very similar game.
I agree.
Except Jalen Hurts at least ran for 70 yards on 7 carries. Josh had harder runs because it's obvious when they designing the runs, and the Ravens are a really good run defense. I just feel like if there's a team that can get it done on this run, it's these dudes, these Commanders.
Listen. You know, I was really thinking about drinking the Kool-Aid with you. I really was. I was getting close. And then I woke up. You know what I'm saying? I had a really long nap. I woke up and I said, not gonna happen. The left tackle, I believe, is hurt. I think the left or the right. I think he's out. He's gonna be out hurt. I just don't see with that pass rush. You know what I mean? Jalen Carter is just playing out of his mind. I'm going to take Eagles 24. I'm going to take the Commanders 13.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a low scoring game as well. I just don't see a lot of points being scored, and I don't see with a depleted offensive line for the Commanders. So I'm gonna definitely take the Eagles on that one.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna wrap it up with our predictions here. I'm taking my birdies fly, Eagles fly, 30-14. Everybody, let's go, fly, Eagles fly. We're going to Super Bowl, Eagles, Chiefs. Everybody. Yes, sir.
Do we really want that rematch? It's not like it was a couple years ago. I think y'all are asking for it more. And if we wake up on Super Bowl Sunday and it's Eagles and Chiefs, the next day we waking up like, well, that was not that good. And Sam, you're going to be even more disappointed because I don't think the Eagles is going to come out on top of that matchup.
Saquon could run for 200 and it'd be a fun Super Bowl to watch. I mean,
yeah, it's going to be what, Pats and Rams?
It could be. I mean, listen, what a great Super Bowl would be for the listeners before we wrap. What a great Super Bowl to watch would be the Washington Commanders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be a great Super Bowl. You got the young rookie. Then you see if the young rook can face the guy, that would be awesome. Obviously, Mikey wants Superman to get in it, but I feel like just for the money, it's just going to be a little different. But we'll see.
If Buffalo goes to the bowl, they're winning.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
If they beat Kansas, yeah. Okay.
I think they're winning.
Kansas City, though.
I would take them over the Eagles or the Commanders, but hey, Cinderella's got to dance sometimes, y'all. When the glass shoe fits. Jaden Daniels makes it to the Super Bowl. So, all right, y'all. Hey, it's been a lovely pod. I know. I just wanted to quickly let the listeners know that there have been some big, updates. We've kind of been given our quick coaching updates as we wrap these up. Yeah. Josh McDaniels, had sent a little birdie over to Camden spot out there because somehow this fool told me well before anyone knew that Joshy was coming back to town. So. Patriots coming together here. We got an offensive coordinator, got a new head coach.
I know.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at Josh McDaniels coming back to town. We'll see what he can do with Drake May. I'd like to see what he can do with a nice young mobile quarterback with a big arm. In other news, the offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions is on his way over to a division rival, the Chicago Bears, and he's going to try to whisper sweet nothings into the ear of Caleb Williams and turn him into something because we've seen what Jared Goff did this year. Let's see what could happen. And then another news from that division, of course, we got Mr. O'Connell, Kevin O'Connell, getting that extension from the Vikings for multiple years. So I feel those are all good fits, right?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, listen, guys, I think, Ben Johnson being a nice offensive guru, going to, a Caleb Williams who needs that type, I think it's going to be great. O'Connell showed even with Darnold, he could take a team, to the playoffs and possibly compete with the division. And listen, guys, your boy, Mr. Club Paradise, Camden Lee, I be in the streets. Them boys be letting me know. A couple people be asking me for my sources. Only the MSD crew will ever know. I will never reveal them. But I'm just telling you, Patriots in the playoffs next year. I'm just letting you know.
Wow.
You heard it first. You heard it first from your boy. So when you see me next season and I'm wearing all my Pats gear and you see me on the pod doing my thing, I'm just letting you know what's coming.
Damn. You dropped it. Camden dropped it.
I'm giving you a whole year. I'm giving you a whole year to work. I'm giving you some time. Get your money right.
Damn.
Get your money right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So everybody, check out the NFL Conference Championships. NFC starts first Sunday, January 26th, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. And we got the Bills and the Chiefs of the AFC Conference Championships. Same day, Sunday, January 26th, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. So it's going to be a full day on Sunday of football, everybody.
Love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Episode 12, MSD Sports. It's your host, YBK. You got Michael Jones. You got Camden Lee. And it's been a great, great time. And we'll see you guys in the next pod. Peace.
Peace.